You want to just start with a quick update and then we'll open it up?
Yeah, no, we're got to get to next Wednesday. Practice is going good. Each day we're trying to get a little bit better, and it's got to get to next Wednesday, Manhattan, Kansas. That's the goal.
Okay, we'll start things off with Rod Mackey.
Hey, Tad, I want to talk about one of your former players and a big night for Tyler tonight. Can you kind of talk about what it's like for you when one of your players achieves his dream and gets drafted? Also, what Tyler will bring to whatever NBA team takes him?
Yeah, Rod, it's a big night for Tyler and his family. It's a big night for our program, because anytime our guys are in the discussion of being drafted, it's exciting. And it's a little bit nerve-wracking because you don't know, you're hoping for late first round. But if that doesn't come, that's when it becomes a little frayed nerves, if you will. And, but I'll be dialed in. I know our players here will be dialed in. Obviously a lot of them played with Tyler over the last few years. So we're hoping for the best. Whatever team does get Tyler is going to get a guy who works extremely hard. Obviously his athleticism speaks for itself, given that he set an NBA combine record for vertical jump. And so that's exciting. They're going to get a great athlete who works hard, who's a terrific defender, and has got great upside.
Let's go to Justin Guerrero.
Coach, just wondering if you could kind of walk us through the process of getting South Dakota to step in and fill South Dakota State shoes in the Little Apple Classic. How did you guys kind of come to decide on them, get them involved, and was it strenuous at all just getting this fourth and final team to join the mini tournament?
Yeah, Justin, quite frankly, we didn't have a lot to do with it. I was just in touch with Bruce Weber. One of the things we did is tried to feed him teams that we had been talking to about scheduling that maybe didn't work out for one reason or another. There's teams out there that need games, but we weren't the integral part in that. It was Bruce Weber and his staff at K-State. I think they had a game scheduled at South Dakota that had gotten canceled like in late December for some reason or another. And so, it just was one of those situations where they talked to probably 3 or 4 teams and they finally got South Dakota to commit to it. And it's worked out for everybody. The backup plan was going to be if they didn't play, that, Drake and K-State and us would play a 3-team round robin and everybody get 2 games out of it.
Let's go down to Neil.
Hey, Tad, just wondering, with 2 league games so close coming up on the schedule, how do you change your approach to getting a rotation going as the games move along? You're playing rotation.
Yeah, it's difficult, Neil, because we're going to have two opportunities, and that's why these practices are so important for us. And we're kind of playing with a lot of different lineups, and we'll learn a lot from the South Dakota game. We'll learn a lot from the game at K-State, and then we're going to have to get ready to go to Arizona, and it makes it more difficult because normally, as you know, you might have if we would have started the season November the 10th, we would have had 4, 5, 6 games to kind of get into that flow and learn about our rotations and about our team. And we're gonna have a very short period of time to do that. But you know what? Arizona's gonna be in the same boat, and Washington State's in the same boat. So, it's not an advantage for anybody. It's just a challenge for every coach and team that's going through it right now. But, every game is important. And the South Dakota game obviously is the most important because it's the first one, and our guys are going to be full of a lot of energy, and we got to be ready to play.
We'll go with Pat Rooney.
Hey, Coach. Going back to Tyler, I was wondering, in most years, even with the same decision, he might have been around and done some working out still around your program. Just wondering how much you've been in touch with him since March, and if you have any insight to kind of how he's feeling going into this.
I talked to Tyler late last week. It was Thursday or Friday, just to check in and see how he's doing. I spoke to his agent. And again, I've had conversations with probably 3 or 4 NBA teams over the last few weeks. that have interest in him, and a lot over the summer, obviously. But yeah, I don't get a chance to see Tyler on a daily basis anymore. And you're right. In a normal world, he might have come back to Boulder and, hung out with his teammates a little bit and enjoyed, the campus and maybe a football game. But that's just not the world we live in right now. So he's been kind of hunkered down in Vegas, working out. I know our players, McKinley and Evan, and those guys are all in touch with him on a regular basis. My contact is probably, once or twice a month, just checking in to see how he's doing and his family's doing. But he's in good spirits. He's very excited. He's very hopeful, and we all are. It's going to be a fun night, hopefully.
Rod Mackey.
Yeah, on the as excited you are to see Tyler tonight, how excited are you that you don't have to watch McKinley get drafted tonight?
Well, look, I want every one of our players to achieve their dreams, and they all, I shouldn't say all, but most of them have the dream of playing in the NBA, and everybody is on a different path. And the thing I really appreciate about McKinley is his maturity level, his self-awareness, his understanding of the marketplace, if you will, and not getting caught up into the hype and letting his ego sometimes get in the way. McKinley's a very self-aware young man, self-aware player, and I believe in my heart that he's an NBA player and his day will come. Tyler just came a year earlier, given his situation. So. I thought Josh Scott was an NBA player, and he didn't hook on in the NBA, but he's had a really successful career overseas. He's in Japan now, making a lot of money and enjoying life. And so you just don't know the journey that every one of your guys that comes through your program, and when they leave, what that is where that's gonna take them. But the one thing I do know is McKinley Wright will make money playing the game of basketball for a living.
Jake Shapiro.
Hey, Tad, hope you're well today. Congrats on Tyler, whatever happens there. You've seen, about 2.5 weeks of Pac-12 football now. Have you learned any lessons from just what's going on over there and cancellations and all the chaos and maybe what you guys can do either as your basketball program or the Pac-12 basketball coaches as a whole in approaching this chaotic season?
Difficult, Jake. I don't know if there's any lessons learned other than, we have to stay safe and stay healthy and act responsibly away from the arena. Again, our guys have been here since June the 7th, and no scholarship player has tested positive. I got to knock on wood every time I say that, but they've handled their activities away from this arena in a very responsible manner. And with all of the cases that are popping up, not only just in Boulder County, but throughout the state of Colorado and the country, it just reaffirms that, our football players, our basketball players, I think most of our student athletes, not that we haven't had any positive tests, but for the most part, our guys have acted and our young women have acted responsibly. We have to continue to do that. That's the biggest thing, Jake, is I think we can't let our guard down and understand that we don't have control over our opponents. We're supposed to play Arizona State in football this weekend. We don't have control over what Arizona State's doing. I think it's, incumbent upon all of us as coaches and players to do the best we can to stay safe and have games this year, because that's what all the student athletes want to do. I can tell you that.
Pat Rooney's got another one.
Coach, just wanted to follow up on something you'd mentioned early in the preseason, that with no scrimmages, no exhibitions, weren't sure if you're going to be able to have refs in and kind of have a live scrimmage with refs. Were you able to do that, or was maybe that coming, or was that were you unable to get that?
No, Pat, we did that, I can't remember, a week ago Saturday, I think it was. And then we're also going to do it tomorrow. So we're going to have officials in twice. It's really good for our players to understand, again, what's a foul, what's not a foul. We got some guys in practice who are fouling too much. Our coaches, they're not officials. they do the best they can in terms of officiating practice. But sometimes things get heated. We had our first technical foul in practice today. Wasn't a pretty sight for the team that got it because they have to run a 55-second sprint. That's no fun. But our guys have to understand, officials are part of the game, and you got to play through difficult times and maybe bad calls or missed calls or whatever the case may be. And I wish we could have those officials in more often, but it's a commitment that they have to make and testing protocols that they have to go through. But we've done it once. We're going to do it again tomorrow, and then hopefully be ready to go next Wednesday.